I swear, Isabella, I can't keep doing double shifts like this, I said, kicking off my shoes as I walked into the apartment. My back feels like it's breaking. She didn't even look up from her phone. You're exaggerating again. People work harder. Yeah, I muttered, but they get something back for it. What's that supposed to mean? She snapped. Nothing, I said quickly, forcing a smile. I thought maybe tonight you and I could. Not tonight, she cut in. Clara's coming over. We're talking about her job thing. I nodded, even though disappointment hit me. Right. Of course. An hour later, Clara arrived. I greeted her, then went to the kitchen for coffee. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but their voices drifted clearly from the living room. So? Clara asked. Did he give you the money? He will, Isabella said. He always does. He's easy to control. My hand froze around the coffee mug. Clara laughed softly. You're terrible. No, I'm smart, Isabella whispered. I'm not wasting my youth waiting for life to magically get better. If he wants to work like a donkey, fine. His money can help me upgrade my life. My chest tightened. Clara lowered her voice. But do you even love him? Love? Isabella scoffed. Clara, please. I love stability. I love not worrying about bills. That's it. Something inside me snapped, but I stayed still. Completely silent. Clara asked, what if he finds out? He won't, Isabella said confidently. He's too soft. He has no idea how the world works. I swallowed hard. The mug trembled in my hands. I set it down before I dropped it. Clara sighed. Just be careful. Using someone's feelings like that, it can end badly. Not for me, Isabella replied. He needs me more than I need him. I stepped back, gripping the counter to keep myself steady. My ears rang. My vision blurred. Every word felt like a blade carving through me. After a moment, I walked toward the living room, pretending I had heard nothing. Coffee? I asked, forcing my voice not to shake. Clara smiled politely. Isabella glanced at me briefly, then returned to her phone. Just leave it on the table. I nodded and walked away. Inside, I was collapsing. I locked myself in the bedroom for a minute, sitting on the edge of the bed. My hands covered my face as I tried to breathe. Is this real? I whispered. Did I really hear that? Every moment we had shared replayed in my head, her smile when I brought her flowers, her hug after my long shifts, the night she whispered I love you against my chest. Were all of them lies? A knock hit the door. Why are you hiding in there? Isabella asked. I'm tired, I replied, steadying my voice. Just resting. Well, keep it down, she said. Clara and I are talking. Sure. When her footsteps faded, I finally let myself breathe again. My mind raced, torn between anger and heartbreak. Hours later, after Clara left, Isabella walked into the bedroom. You didn't say goodbye to her, she said. I wasn't feeling well. You're always not feeling well, she muttered. Honestly, you need to grow up. Something inside me broke again, quieter this time. I'll try, I whispered. She rolled her eyes. Good. Because I can't deal with your emotional stuff right now. I stared at her, wondering how I ever believed she was my future. When she turned to leave, I said, Isabella, do you think I'm easy to control? She paused. What kind of question is that? Just answer. She scoffed. If you're going to be dramatic, I'm going to sleep. She closed the door behind her. I stayed awake the whole night, staring at the ceiling, replaying her words with Clara over and over until they carved themselves into me. I'm easy to control. My money can upgrade her life. She doesn't love me. That was the night my world cracked, and I knew nothing would ever be the same again. I heard what you said yesterday, I told Isabella the next morning as she stood in front of the mirror, fixing her hair. She didn't even turn around. What are you talking about? You and Clara, I said quietly. The things you said about me. She spun around fast. Are you spying on me now? I wasn't spying. I was making coffee. And you think you heard something? Please. She folded her arms. You always twist things in your head. I heard you clearly, Isabella. She scoffed. Then you must be losing your mind, because I never said anything like that. Why lie? I whispered. Because I'm tired of your insecurity, she snapped. If you think I'm using you, then maybe you're not ready for a real relationship. Her calm cruelty hit harder than the betrayal itself. "I'm just asking for honesty." "I am honest," she said, brushing past me. "You just want drama." I followed her into the living room. "Isabella, I'm not imagining the designer bags, the makeup, the late nights." She turned sharply. "So now you're monitoring my spending?" "I'm noticing things," I said. "Things that don't match your salary." "Wow," she said, laughing coldly. "You really think too highly of your money." "I think something's wrong," I admitted. "Then fix it in your head," she said, grabbing her purse. "I'm going to work." When she left, I exhaled shakily and called Lucas. He picked up immediately. "You sound awful. What happened?" "I think Isabella's using me," I said. "And lying straight to my face." "I've been waiting for you to say that for months," Lucas replied. "What did she do now?" I told him everything, Clara, the insults, the sudden luxury spending. He whistled. "Mate, that doesn't sound good." "I know," I whispered. "But I keep hoping I'm wrong." "You're not wrong," he said firmly. "You're just scared to see the truth." I rubbed my forehead. "Maybe I'm overthinking." "No," Lucas said. "If she cared, she'd try to explain, not mock you." His words stung because they felt real. "Come over after work," Lucas added. "We'll talk." I agreed. When I got to Isabella's workplace later that evening, hoping to pick her up like I used to, I saw her laughing with a man near the entrance. A tall, expensive-looking man. Marco Stein. I recognized him from her stories. He leaned closer to her, way too close, and she giggled, soft and sweet, the way she never giggled for me anymore. My stomach twisted. I stepped back into the crowd so she wouldn't see me. They kept talking, her fingers brushing his arm as if it was normal. "Is this really happening?" I whispered to myself. When she finally walked out alone and got into my car, she acted like nothing happened. "Long day?" I asked. "The worst," she said. "People are so annoying." "Anyone interesting visit today?" She frowned. "What kind of question is that?" "Just making conversation." "Well, don't. I'm tired." I stared at her, wondering how easily she switched between faces. Later that night, Lucas messaged, "Did you talk to her?" I replied, "She lied to me again." He wrote back, "Then stop listening to her words. Watch her actions." His message repeated in my head for hours. So I started watching. The next morning she walked out of the bedroom wearing a brand new dress with a designer tag hanging from the sleeve. "I thought you were short on money," I said. She froze for a second, then forced a smile. It was on sale. A sale that still costs half my rent. She rolled her eyes. "You're being jealous again." "I'm being realistic." "Stop making everything about money," she snapped. "It makes you look small." I stared at her, realizing the woman in front of me wasn't the one I fell for. Maybe she never was. She grabbed her bag and headed to the door. "Isabella," I said softly, "do you even love me?" She paused, not turning around. "I love what we have." "And what is that?" "A comfortable life," she said coldly. "Don't ruin it." She left. And for the first time, I finally saw the truth. The mask had never slipped. It had cracked, and the real Isabella was standing right in front of me. I was checking my emails when I noticed something strange, an automated message from a bank I didn't recognize. I frowned. I never opened an account here. I clicked the message, and my whole body stiffened. A joint savings account. My name. Isabella's name. My salary transfers. What the hell? I whispered. Transaction after transaction, withdrawals I never made, amounts too familiar to ignore. My hands shook so badly I had to sit down. When Isabella walked into the room, she asked, "Why do you look like that?" I swallowed hard. "Did you open any new accounts lately?" She paused for half a second. "What? No. Why?" "There's a message from a bank." "Oh, those scams again." She waved her hand. "Just delete it." "I don't think it's a scam." "It is," she said quickly. "Don't stress about it. You get so paranoid sometimes." Paranoid. That word hit like a slap. I closed the laptop slowly. "Right. Maybe you're right." She shrugged. "I usually am." Later, when she left for work, I reopened everything, heart pounding. I printed every transaction, every transfer, every detail. Then I called the only person I trusted with money, my cousin Elena. She answered on the second ring. You never call during the day. What's wrong? Elena. I need help. Serious help. Tell me where you are, she said immediately. I met her at her home office within the hour. She sat across from me, glasses on, scanning the printouts. After 5 minutes, she looked up. She opened this using your identity. I nodded. I figured. You didn't sign anything? No. Nothing. She exhaled sharply. She's been draining you for months. I know, I whispered. Why didn't you notice earlier? Because I trusted her, I said quietly. And she counted on that. Elena tapped the papers. This isn't accidental. She planned it. My stomach twisted. How bad is it? Bad enough that if she pulls again, she can wipe the account clean. I leaned back, running a hand through my hair. So she didn't just want extra money. She wanted everything. Yes, Elena said. All of it. I felt something crack inside me, but not like before. Not pain this time. Something sharper. What do I do? I asked. You gather proof, she said firmly. Silently. Don't confront her yet. I shouldn't tell her? No, she said. If she realizes you know, she'll move fast. You need her to keep thinking she's in control. I nodded slowly. So I pretend everything is normal. Exactly. Elena leaned forward. I'll help you freeze the transfers. And we'll document everything. If she tries to deny it later, she won't stand a chance. I stared at the papers again. I can't believe she did this. You can, Elena corrected gently. You just didn't want to. I sighed. I feel like an idiot. You're not an idiot, she said. You're a good person who trusted the wrong one. I rubbed my face. I don't even know how to talk to her anymore. Then don't talk about this, Elena said. Talk like nothing happened. Smile. Let her feel safe. And meanwhile? Meanwhile, she said, you take back control. Those words hit something deep inside me. Control. I had never thought about control in my relationship. I was always the giver, the helper, the idiot who said yes. But now, while staring at the proof of what she'd done, something new lit up inside my chest. It wasn't rage. It wasn't heartbreak. It was clarity. Elena stood and placed a hand on my shoulder. You can handle this. You're stronger than you think. I don't feel strong, I admitted. You will, she said. This is just the beginning. When I left her house, I sat in my car for a long moment, staring at the documents beside me. Every number on those pages was a lie I had lived in. But now I finally saw the truth. And for the first time, instead of falling apart, I felt a spark, small but real, burning in my chest. A part of me I didn't know existed was waking up. And Isabella had no idea. I stared at the blank page of my journal, the pen trembling in my hand. How did I let this happen to me? I whispered into the quiet room. Writing felt strange, like peeling skin from my own heart, but I forced the words out. I trusted her. I believed every smile. Every tear. Every lie. When Isabella walked into the apartment later, tossing her heels across the floor, her tone sliced the air. Why are you sitting there like something's wrong? I lifted my eyes slowly. Just writing. About what? She demanded. Us, I replied, keeping my voice steady. She scoffed. You're so dramatic. Nothing is wrong with us. Right? I said, smiling faintly. Inside, I felt something cold and sharp forming. The next morning at work, Hannah Muller stopped beside my desk, her eyes searching my face. You look different, she said softly. Different how? I asked. Calmer, she said. But not in a good way. More like someone who stopped fighting. I guess I got tired, I muttered. She leaned closer. I told you months ago she was playing you. I didn't say it to hurt you. I just didn't want to see you broken. I'm not broken, I said quietly. Not anymore. She didn't believe me. Then what are you? Waking up. Hannah stared at me for a long moment. If you ever need to talk, I'm here. I mean that. Thank you, I said. And for the first time in weeks, I felt something warm instead of heavy. That night Isabella didn't come home. At midnight she sent a message, staying with a friend. Don't wait up. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the screen. A friend, here? When she finally returned the next afternoon, she didn't even look at me. I told you I'd be out, she said casually. I'm not upset, I answered. She paused. Really? No questions? No jealousy? No, I said. You're free to do whatever you want. She narrowed her eyes. You're acting weird lately. I'm just thinking, I replied. About what? My life. She laughed lightly. You overthink everything. Just relax. I'm relaxed, I said, keeping my face still. More than you know. She brushed past me and headed to the bathroom, her phone lighting up with a message she tried to hide. I pretended not to notice. Observing her without reacting felt like standing outside of myself. Every lie she told now sounded rehearsed. Every excuse felt like a script she'd performed too many times. Later that evening, Hannah called. Are you okay? She asked. Define okay. You sound distant. I'm trying to understand myself, I said. Why I ignored the signs. Why I let someone control me this long. Hannah's voice softened. Because you loved her. People do stupid things when they love the wrong person. Yeah, I whispered. But something's changing. What do you mean? I'm starting to see everything clearly. I'm not reacting emotionally anymore. I just observe. That sounds dangerous, she said. Not for me. There was silence. Then Hannah spoke quietly. Just don't lose yourself. I'm finally finding myself, I said. After the call, Isabella appeared in the doorway. Who were you talking to? A friend. She folded her arms. Male or female? Female. She waited. And you don't think that's inappropriate? You disappear for entire nights, I said lightly. But my phone call is the problem. She flinched at my calm tone. Stop talking like that. Like what? Like you don't care. I closed my journal, meeting her eyes. Maybe I finally learned to care about myself. She stared at me, confused, almost unsettled. For the first time, I felt the shift inside me solidify. My pain wasn't choking me anymore. It was sharpening me. And she didn't even notice the version of me she once controlled was already gone. I told myself I wasn't going to follow her. But when Isabella said, I'm working late, something in her tone made my stomach tighten. I waited 10 minutes, grabbed my jacket, and stepped into the cold evening. As I reached the tram station, I whispered, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. If I'm right, I didn't finish the sentence. When she got off near the luxury district, my pulse started hammering. What are you doing here? I murmured as she walked straight into the entrance of a 5-star hotel. I followed at a distance, hiding behind a marble column as she stepped into the elevator, with Marco Stein. His voice carried. Did he transfer the money? Not yet, she replied. He's been acting strange, but I'll get it out of him. My throat closed. I lifted my phone and snapped photos, the two of them laughing, his hand on her waist, her leaning into him like I never existed. When the elevator doors closed, I exhaled shakily. So this is who you really are. I went to the reception desk and pretended to check my phone while listening to the clerk. Marco Stein already checked into the penthouse. His guest will join him shortly. Guest. Huh. I hurried to the stairwell, climbing quietly. On the top floor, I pressed myself against the wall near their door. She laughed softly. He's clueless. I'm telling you, Marco, after the last transfer, I'm done with him. Marco replied, good. He's too boring for you anyway. Boring, she repeated, amused. And naive. I hit record on my phone. Every word sliced like a blade, but I kept the phone steady. Marco asked, how much is left? Just one more paycheck, she answered. Then I'll block his number. He'll probably cry, but whatever. My breath trembled. I whispered, I won't cry. Not again. When their voices faded inside the room, I backed away slowly, taking a few more pictures. Their door, her shoes outside it, Marco's jacket thrown over her arm earlier. I had enough proof to bury her lies 10 times over. I left the hotel in silence, walking through the freezing wind with my fists clenched. Why wasn't I enough? I asked the night, but the city didn't answer. Back at the apartment, I turned off every light and sat alone on the floor. My phone screen glowed with the photos, the recordings, the truth I never wanted to see. The door unlocked an hour later, and Isabella walked in humming. Long day, she said casually. I didn't respond. She frowned. Why are the lights off? I'm just thinking, I whispered. About what? My life. She threw her purse down. Stop being dramatic. I looked straight at her. You disappear for hours, and I'm dramatic. She sighed. I told you, I was working. I kept my face blank. Right. Working. She didn't notice the tremor in my hand, the same hand holding the phone with all the evidence. After she went to shower, I whispered to myself, not yet. Don't confront her. Not tonight. My heart was shattering, but something stronger was rising beneath the pain. A quiet fire. A growing clarity. I felt it when I looked at the dark window. You won't win by exploding, I told myself. You'll win by thinking. For the first time, anger didn't control me. I controlled it. When Isabella came out of the bathroom and asked, "Are you coming to bed?" I simply said, "In a minute." She shrugged and walked away. As soon as she closed the bedroom door, I whispered the words that changed everything for me. "I'm done being your victim. I'm ending this, my way." And in that moment, my pain transformed into purpose. Elena stared at the documents on her laptop and whispered, "You're lucky you caught this early. If she kept draining it, you'd have nothing left." I rubbed my forehead. "Just tell me what to do next." "Step 1, she said, typing quickly, "we freeze the joint account. Step 2, redirect every euro of your income to a new account she can't touch. Step 3, gather everything for the audit." I asked, "Will she know?" "Not if you stay calm," Elena replied. "Let her think she still has you wrapped around her finger." I exhaled. "That won't be hard. She already believes I'm stupid." Elena gave a faint smile. "Use that." After she finished, I met with Jonas Ritter the next day. He was direct. "If you want this clean, you don't confront her yet." "I wasn't planning to," I said. "Good," he replied. "We'll reverse every unauthorized transfer. But you must follow my instructions exactly." "I will." He leaned forward. "And whatever she asks for, stall her." When I returned home, Isabella was on the couch scrolling through her phone. "You're late," she snapped. "I had errands," I said. She scoffed. "Whatever. Listen, I need money for something important." I forced a confused look. "Money? I don't have much right now." Her head jerked up. "What do you mean you don't have much?" "I've been short lately." She frowned deeply. "Short? That doesn't make sense. You get paid tomorrow." I shrugged. "Things came up." She stood abruptly. I said, "It's important. I need 5,000. I muttered, "I don't have it." She glared. "You're kidding." "I'm serious." She paced in front of me. "You're becoming so useless lately. I ask for one thing, and you can't do it." Inside, anger flickered, but I kept my expression small and helpless. "I'm trying." "Try harder," she snapped. "I need that investment money." I pretended to hesitate. "Maybe I can ask someone." She nodded eagerly. "Good. Yes. Do that." I shook my head. "But I don't think they'll help." She sighed loudly. "God, why am I stuck with you?" The word stabbed, but I held my voice steady. "I'm doing my best." "Well, your best isn't enough," she said coldly. I sat quietly, letting her think she'd won. But inside, the power was shifting fast. Later that night, she asked again. "Did you get the money?" "No." She stared at me like I'd ruined her evening. "You're unbelievable." "I'm sorry," I whispered. She rolled her eyes. "I swear, if you don't figure something out soon." I swallowed. "I can try again tomorrow." She smirked. "Yes. Do that." When she left the room, I checked my phone. Elena had texted, "Audit clean. Lawyer confirmed everything reversed. She can't touch a cent now." I replied, "Good. She thinks I'm broke." Elena wrote back, "Keep it that way. The more desperate she gets, the clearer the evidence will become." Later that evening, as Isabella scrolled through her tablet, she said, "Marco told me about an opportunity. We can double the investment in a month." I forced a shaky laugh. "Double? That sounds risky." She shot me a glare. "You don't understand business." "Probably not," I said softly. She leaned closer, irritation all over her face. "So stop questioning me and just get the money." "I'm trying," I repeated. "Try faster," she muttered. I watched her, really watched her, and something inside me settled. Her contempt wasn't breaking me anymore. It was exposing her. When she stormed into the bedroom, I whispered to myself, "The game isn't hers anymore." My phone buzzed. Jonas had sent a final message, "All legal steps complete." She can't take a single euro. Prepare your evidence. I stared at the dark screen and murmured, I'm ready. The shift was complete. She thought I was sinking, but in truth, I was pulling everything back, quietly, precisely, and without mercy. The next morning, Isabella stormed into the kitchen, eyes wild. I tried the account again, she shouted, slamming her hand on the counter. Why isn't the money there? I sipped my coffee calmly. Maybe the bank made a mistake. A mistake. Her voice cracked. I worked for that money. I helped you. You helped me? I asked softly, tilting my head. I thought you only cared about the transfers. Her face froze for a second, then twisted into fury. Ungrateful, you're ungrateful. After everything I've done. I don't understand, I said, keeping my voice steady. Everything you've done? She threw her purse across the room. Everything. I gave you luxury. I tolerated your boring habits. I was there for you. I leaned back. You mean you used me? She blinked rapidly. Used? How dare you? I loved you. I see, I murmured. I see everything now. Her hands shook as she grabbed her phone. Marco, she hissed. Tell him I need him here. Minutes later, her phone buzzed again. She read it and froze. He can't help me? Her voice dropped to a whisper. Why not? I watched silently. Her glamorous armor was cracking. She had no idea I had frozen the joint account, redirected my income, and prepared every legal safeguard. Every euro she thought she could touch was gone. She paced in the living room, muttering, this can't be happening. I'm too important for this. I said nothing. Finally, she collapsed on the couch, her manic energy replaced by panic. I don't understand. He said he'd help. Marco said he'd invest if I got the money. Maybe he's busy, I said quietly, still calm. She looked at me like I had no right to speak. Busy? No. He knows now, doesn't he? Her voice broke. He knows I can't access the account. I kept sipping my coffee. Seems like it. She began crying softly, then louder. Please help me. I'm sick. I can't. You have to. I can't lose everything. I stared at her, neutral, detached. I'm sorry you feel that way. Her cries turned to sobs. I didn't mean to hurt you. I just needed the money. I know, I said gently. And now you're facing the consequences. She glared at me. You're cruel. I can't believe you're doing this. I shrugged. I'm just letting things happen. She threw herself back on the couch, exhausted and defeated. Her phone buzzed again. Marco had sent a message, I'm done. I can't work with someone who doesn't have access to funds. Figure it out yourself. She stared at the screen, mouth opening and closing, words trapped. No, this can't be. I didn't comfort her. I didn't argue. I stayed silent, letting her collapse under the weight of her own choices. Later, Lucas called. How's it going? She's unraveling, I said, voice low. Completely. Good, he said. Keep your distance. Don't let her manipulate you. I won't, I said. Hannah keeps checking on me too. They're my anchors. Smart, Lucas said. You're doing exactly what you need to do. I nodded, staring at Isabella curled on the couch. She didn't know that every collapse, every panic, every loss of control was because of the plan I had set in motion. Her world was crumbling, and I was the quiet force guiding it. By the end of the day, she was exhausted, sobbing silently. Her expensive lifestyle, her manipulations, her control over me, it was all falling apart. And I sat in my chair, calm, detached, watching karma unfold naturally. Finally, I whispered to myself, it begins. I placed the folder on the table and said quietly, sit down, Isabella. She looked up, eyes swollen. What now? Are you finally going to help me? No, I said. I'm going to show you something. She frowned. Show me what? I opened the folder. Photos spilled out, her and Marco at the hotel. Her leaning into him. Her kissing him. Her laughing behind my back. She stared at them, her lips parting. Where did you get these? I followed you, I said. The night you thought you were clever. Her breath hitched. You spied on me? No, I replied. I caught you. She pushed the photos away. These don't mean anything. Marco is just. I played the first recording. Her voice filled the room. I'll leave him once the last transfer hits. He's too stupid to notice anything anyway. Isabella froze. Turn that off. I played the second recording. He's easy to control. Once I'm done with him, we're set. She grabbed the table. Stop it. I shut the phone off and placed it next to the bank statements. These, I said, tapping the papers, show every euro you took from the account you opened with my identity. Her face lost all color. I didn't steal. I just borrowed. I was going to pay it back. With what? I asked. Marco's promises? She swallowed hard. He told me the account was safe. He said. I froze the account, I said calmly. 3 days ago. She blinked rapidly. You what? Every transfer you planned is blocked. Every euro is back in my possession. Every document is restored legally. You don't control anything anymore. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. Why would you do this to me? You did this to yourself, I said. She shook her head violently. No, I didn't. You're twisting everything. I'm showing you reality, I said softly. She grabbed my arm. Please, I can fix this. I just need time. No, I said, pulling my arm away. You had time. I gave you everything. I didn't mean to hurt you, she whispered. I was stressed. I was confused. Marco pressured me. I cut her off. Marco left you the moment he realized you had no access to my money. He didn't want you. He wanted the account. Her legs buckled, and she fell onto the couch. He said he cared. No, I said. He cared about the money. She covered her face. This isn't fair. It's not supposed to be fair, I replied. It's supposed to be honest. She looked up, tears streaming. I can change. I swear. I'll be better. Just give me another chance. I shook my head. You didn't just lie. You planned to destroy me. No, she screamed. I didn't. I just wanted a better life. At my expense, I said. At my cost. At my ruin. She crawled toward me. Please don't leave me. I need you. You need my money, I corrected. She slammed her fist on the floor. Fine. Yes. I needed it. But I can fix everything. I'm done, I said. She froze. What? I'm done, I repeated. With you. With your lies. With your games. She shook her head desperately. You can't walk away. You can't just leave me like this. I picked up the folder. Watch me. No, she cried. Please. I'll lose everything. That's your lesson, I said quietly. Not mine. I walked toward the door. She screamed, don't you dare leave. I opened it anyway. Please, she whispered behind me, voice breaking completely. Please don't go. I didn't turn around. I know everything now, I said. And I'm free. Then I stepped out, closing the door on her chaos, her lies, her ruined plans. For the first time in a long time, I could breathe. Justice didn't need violence. It needed truth. And she finally got it. Weeks passed, and Isabella's calls stopped at first, then became frantic messages. I didn't open most of them. One morning, my phone buzzed again. I glanced at it. Please? I need to talk. Just one last chance. I ignored it. Hannah noticed my phone buzzing. You okay? She asked. I'm fine, I said. Just ignoring someone who shouldn't exist in my life anymore. She nodded. Good. Keep it that way. Later, Lucas called. Heard about her? What now? I asked. Marco blocked her. He said she lied about the account and manipulation. Told her he's done. I closed my eyes. Finally. Let her taste her own medicine. She deserved it, Lucas said. And now you're free. I know, I said, a small smile forming. At work, I focused on every task, letting the emails, meetings, and projects consume me. Every euro I saved, every investment Elena taught me about, made me feel more in control. Ethan, are you even taking breaks? Hannah asked one afternoon as we worked late. I am, I said. I just don't notice it anymore. Focus keeps me sane. You seem calmer, she said. Like you don't let her shadow touch you. I'm learning to walk in the light without looking back, I said. Elena sent a text that evening, Check your accounts. All systems optimized. You're financially untouchable now. I replied, thanks. Feels good to own my life again. Meanwhile, Isabella's world continued crumbling. Rumors about her manipulations spread at her workplace. The landlord called Lucas one day, asking if he knew I was still in touch. When he said no, the landlord told him she had been evicted for not paying rent. She's spiraling, Lucas said. And letting her panic doesn't feel cruel, I said quietly. It feels natural. Then her messages started again, more desperate. Please? I made a mistake. I was wrong. Just give me one more chance. I read one, then deleted it. Another. Deleted. Are you ever going to answer her? Hannah asked. No, I said calmly. I don't exist in her world anymore. I'm not the man who begged for her love. She smiled. Good. You're stronger than before. I nodded. I'm learning. Work, friends, knowledge. I finally understand my worth. Hannah raised an eyebrow. And no longing? No, hope she'll change? No, I said firmly. That version of me is gone. Replaced with someone who won't be fooled. The freedom felt heavy at first, then light. Every moment I spent building myself, learning finance with Elena, laughing with Lucas, or simply reading, stitched my wounds tighter. One evening, I glanced at my phone again. Another message, I can't live without you. Please. I'll do anything. I stared at it for a long moment. Anything? I whispered. You wanted everything, and now you have nothing. I didn't reply. Instead, I texted Hannah and Lucas, dinner tomorrow? Celebrating life. Lucas replied, count me in. Hannah, finally. You deserve it. I looked around my apartment, calm and steady. Isabella's downfall unfolded naturally. Marco gone, her eviction, her lies exposed. Meanwhile, I was growing, learning, and healing. No anger. No obsession. Just clarity. For the first time in months, I felt it, peace. The man who once gave everything for her attention no longer existed. In his place stood someone stronger, smarter, and harder to deceive. And the best part? I didn't have to fight her. She fell, and I rose. I whispered to myself, smiling, this is life without her. This is freedom. I walked into the office, the hum of computers and chatter of co-workers filling the air. I hadn't expected her. Isabella stood near the entrance, tears streaking her face, mascara running down like rivers of regret. She spotted me and called out, voice trembling. Ethan, please. Just. I kept walking. Ethan, she shouted, desperation spilling over. I made a mistake. I need you. I didn't stop. I didn't even glance. Her sobs echoed behind me, but my pace never faltered. A coworker asked, everything okay? Yeah, I said softly, focusing on my desk. Just noise. Isabella dropped her head, shoulders shaking. Her voice cracked as she whispered, please, one last chance. I ignored it. Sitting at my desk, I exhaled slowly. For the first time, I felt the full weight of freedom. The chains of manipulation, lies, and betrayal weren't around my wrists anymore. They were gone. Hannah appeared beside me, her presence calm like a soft breeze. You walked right past her, she said. I did, I said. I realized something today. I'm free. Completely free. She smiled, quietly proud. It suits you. Peace looks good on you. I chuckled softly. It feels better than I imagined. Not perfect, not painless, but clean. Clear. Hannah nodded. I've watched you go through hell. And now, look at you. Stronger, wiser, smarter. I looked out the window for a moment, letting the city lights blur. It's strange, I said. The pain, the betrayal, it almost killed me. And yet it shaped me. Every lie she told, every manipulation, every desperate attempt to control me, it taught me something about myself. What's that? Hannah asked. That I can survive. That I can recognize toxic people before they take everything. That I don't need validation from someone who only wants what I have. Hannah's smile widened. Exactly. That's wisdom. That's strength. I leaned back in my chair. For months, I thought love meant giving everything, even my dignity. Now I see, it doesn't. Love, or trust, isn't blind. And forgiveness, it doesn't mean letting someone use you. She nodded. So what now? I paused. Now I focus on me. My work. My knowledge. Friends who care, like you and Lucas. And maybe, one day, love again. But not like before. Not with someone who sees me as a means to an end. Hannah laughed softly. And that's the difference between the old you and the new you. I hope so, I said, a faint smile touching my lips. Because the old me would have stopped, would have begged, would have fallen back into her trap. The new me walks past without hesitation. And feels no regret. She placed a hand on my shoulder. That's real freedom. I nodded. It is. I won't let anyone make me small again. Not for money, not for attention, not for love. Peace is my choice. Hannah tilted her head. And Isabella? I smiled faintly. She'll remember the lesson for life. But I won't carry the anger. She's her own downfall. I'm my own rise. The office lights glowed warmly, the late afternoon calm settling around us. I took a deep breath and realized I hadn't felt this quiet, this steady, in months. For the first time in a long time, I felt hope, not for romance, not yet, but for a future where I don't let anyone use me again. Ready for dinner? Hannah asked. I stood and nodded. Yes. I think it's time to celebrate life. As I walked toward the door, I glanced once more at the empty spot where Isabella had stood. The anger, the heartbreak, the chaos, they were gone. And in their place was clarity, strength, and a choice I would never regret, peace. This was my new beginning.